Hey, Kevin, what is it about the culture that you guys have there that when guys are out of the lineup, other players, instead of being shy in the moment, step up? What is it about your culture and environment that allows for guys to feel empowered to have strong performances?
Just to having that support from our coaching staff allows a lot of guys to go out there and play free. You see guys developing throughout the season because they're being put in different situations. Landry, Joe, Tyler, Alizé came in, gave us great minutes. So I think guys who, younger guys in the league who still trying to find their footing, this year was good for them because, it allowed them to develop different parts of their game, play with different lineups, play more minutes. So I think that next man mentality has been preached to us from day one, and guys are taking advantage of it.
You had your second 40-point game in a net uniform at 22 in the third. At this point in your career, Kevin, what do you love most about competition?
I love the mental aspect of, just how I'm going to approach the game. Every night is different, I feel. Like they threw a little boxing one out there. They double-teamed me as soon as I touched it. In the post, they play zone. So just coming into a game, not knowing what a coach is going to throw at me, and and as the game starts to go on, me figuring it out, I think that's the funnest part for me.
Malika Andrews with ESPN.
Kevin, sort of in that same mentality of gamesmanship, if you will, when you're looking at this point in potentially playing in a back-to-back tomorrow or not, is there something that you, take pride in and constantly kind of trying to be available for your teammates, or what's your mentality there, along with obviously taking direction from the coaching staff?
First, I'm going to take direction from the coaching staff. My teammates understand what the situation is. So I just got to be ready for any situation, I feel like. And, and when I'm out there playing, I try to take it a possession at a time and see what happens. And, I had to come back in the fourth. And maybe I could negotiate a little bit better if I didn't have to come back in the fourth next game. So, but it is what it is, try to take it a possession at a time. And like I said, just, trust in what the coaching staff and the training staff want me to do.
Thank you. Maybe you can use that bargaining chip for next time.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
Hey, Kevin, you mentioned Alizé briefly before, but for a young guy like him to come off the bench with 2020, what was your impression of his performance tonight, and what have been your impressions overall from him?
I love everything about Alizé, who he is as a person, his approach to the game, his work ethic, his story, his journey, everything about him is just I want to see him do well out there. And I could tell, coming back to Indiana, a place that drafted him, he wanted to come out here and play well. And being away from the team for a few days, you could tell that was on his mind a bit. But it was a good way to welcome him back to the group. 2020 off the bench was just everywhere. Offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, pushing the pace. I'm very excited for Alizé. Glad he's a part of our team, and want him to continue to keep building on this.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, what's going on, Kevin? Congrats on the win. We had spoken earlier about the idea of gravity, and you said that you didn't really feel like you had that impact on the game unless you were playing with force. Would tonight be an example of you playing with that force, and how did you feel your ability to open up, create opportunities for everybody else on the floor tonight?
Yeah, like I said, each game is different, and I want to create that somewhat of a double team if I'm driving or if I'm in the post. And some coaches just, don't even let me get started and double team as soon as I catch the ball to start the game. So I think tonight was one of those nights, and to generate two people on me and get my guys open, that's the goal. And but when I have scoring opportunities, I try to take advantage as well.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Hey, Kevin, you talked about having to come back in the fourth quarter when Indiana won that little run. Was that just, them getting hot, or you guys maybe having to lapse defensively? Just what do you kind of attribute to them getting back in the game in that stretch there?
We probably relaxed just a tad bit. Being up 20, having a good third quarter that we did is natural to relax. But as a great team, we had to be dominant. And I think this was a good lesson for us to keep our foot on the gas. But, in that fourth quarter, I think we did a good job of not panicking when they got cut it to 6 or 7, throughout the fourth. But we definitely want to finish games better, especially start fourth quarters better if we up 20 points.
Last question, Chris Mulholland with Nets Daily.
Hey, Kevin, out of this whole win, what kind of just stands out to you the most? Like, what pops out to you?
6 guys in double figures, 35 assists, only 13 turnovers, and they shot 42% from the field. That's pretty much the game for us. Out rebounding them too. So when we do that, we're in good shape. 6 guys, double figures, more assists, more rebounds, hold them to a low percentage. That's a good formula for us.
It's a good formula for the Nets, and you got to love the way his mind is working during the game. They have that big lead in the third quarter, 23 points, and already the wheels are turning in Katie's head. All right, if I don't get out there in the fourth.
Nearly 30 years to have 20 and 20 off the bench.
Yeah, incredible stat line. He plays the energy and brings it every night. So it's impressive that he can collect that many rebounds and score, and in a role where we don't run anything for him. And so it's an incredible performance, and really happy for him. Given that he wasn't even in the league a month ago or so, and here he is putting up incredible stat lines.
In what ways have you seen players empower each other when you have key guys out and guys like Alizé stepping up? In what ways have you seen players empower their own teammates to strong performances?
I don't know if I have any tangible kind of anecdotes, but I just feel like our environment, is strong, and guys love to compete together, and have formed, a bond throughout the course of the year where, frankly, we've had no choice, but we've taken on the opportunity to come together and to play in different rotations, combinations, lineups. And so I think that is a facet of our team where, you could say all the negatives of what's gone on this season, but the positive is that we've found a way to hold it together. And here we are with 43 and 20, with whatever, 30-something different starting lineups and all the things that have been thrown at us. So really proud of the group, the environment, the way they come to play no matter who's in or out, and they believe they can win.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Looking ahead to your upcoming stretch, you got 5 of the next 6 on the road, looking at Chicago's playoff chance. All against playoff eligible teams. What do you kind of make of this upcoming stretch? It's almost like a playoff simulation in the sense of on the road, every other day playing and having that grind and to close the regular season.
Yeah, tough stretch where we're on the road a lot, where I think we're home for 7 days of this 31-day period. So, it's important for us to stay focused, to do everything we can to get better, to win games, and also to prepare for the playoffs. So there's a lot going on this time of year, and I think remaining focused and having our eye on the bigger picture is important. But at the same time, like I said pregame, I think things change from day to day in this season. It's so unpredictable that we really have to just take it moment by moment and be prepared to adapt and adjust daily and still perform. And so tomorrow will be a different challenge. We'll see who's available tomorrow and how it all looks. And we'll go play a very good Portland team and try to put in a good performance.
Malika Andrews with ESPN.
Steve, I know we've talked about this a little bit before, but at this point in the season, knowing the injuries you have and then that it's later in the season, does a performance like this from Alizé Johnson change or shift your confidence in having to play him or a guy like him potentially in the playoffs?
I think we feel confident that all of our guys can play in the playoffs. It's just a matter of rotations and how many minutes can go around. You're going to play heavy minutes for your top players, and then your rotations shorten a little bit. So is there enough minutes to go around? Not for everybody, but at the same time, there could be situations, there could be rotations, matchup series that is line up for one of the guys on the bench that's on the fringe of the rotation. So we have confidence in all these guys. We try to empower them to play their game and to be confident. And if there's a matchup for some of these guys in the playoffs or a role that they can really step into, that's possible from game to game, series to series. But it's not possible for everyone to play and for us to have the same rotation where everyone gets minutes just because you shorten it and guys are playing more minutes in the playoffs. But we have confidence in Alizé, obviously certainly someone that will go in and defend and grab rebounds and run the floor and do things that can definitely add when you get into the playoffs and you need a spark. So, like many of our guys, we have confidence in him, but it's hard to say right now what the rotation would be in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
Hey, Steve. You talked about, obviously, in the playoffs, rotations tend to get shortened. But looking at tomorrow, I mean, Blake played 13 minutes, probably a little less than some might have anticipated.